is like shiny.
She doesn't bathe down.
Got the tongue. I wondered about the mechanics of that whole relationship. A pig and a frog.
He's drove her so mad for him because of that tongue. That tongue plays.
That's why she had a fly tattooed on her cervix.
Like, angry all the time.
Hi, how you doing? This is the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast, and I'm Paul Robertson.
And I'm Kevin McLaughlin. How you doing, y'all?
And once again, being inconsistent on...
We are inconsistent in our inconsistency.
Yeah. What'd you say? So, yes, we never get our opening right, so...
But what is right?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, what's right is what we did today. What's right is how we do it. You got to do it like you feel it. You can't just follow a script every time.
That's right, man. You don't want the man to tell you what to do.
Adventure in that.
That's right. The Illuminati will tell you what to do.
You keep pointing out the fact that we never do it the same, and that's my favorite aspect of our intro.
That's what she
never
said.
The same.
Hey, that's what she said.
You do it the same every time, and she's going to leave you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Devin, how you doing over there on the podcast there? So,
chilling. What's up?
Not much, man.
You always cut to me like when I'm like I don't have anything to say.
In mid puff.
But how can we cut to you when there's no camera on you?
Yeah.
Well, you cued to me, I should say.
Yeah, because he had something in his mouth.
He's like,
Oh, that drew your attention, did
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
Oh my!
Vape Nash.
So what's been going on over the Ghost in the podcast?
The what?
Sorry, I have
Try
too
that
much.
again.
I have too much saliva in my mouth.
Sliver.
He's got sliver
Sliver?
in his mouth. Oh my goodness! What the hell?
good band name,
Let's Google
Sliver.
that up. Sliver.
It's a saliva cover band, Sliver.
You've
The
been
lead
having.
singer spits a lot when he talks.
Oh my! I hate it when they do that.
In a splash zone.
Paul, you've been having issues with your pronunciations today, and I would. Did you take your medicine?
This is an intervention.
No,
Yeah, we actually all gathered. We gathered everyone here today.
But you're wondering why we
talk
gathered
about
you
your
here
problem.
today.
Paul is having some issues
spell.
because he, with the help of a lot of friends, has put down dad shoes, and his feet hurt.
That's not
What?
very nice of you to put down dad shoes. Some
What
people
are you
need
t-
them.
He's gone cold turkey. He's wearing cool shoes now. He's not using dad shoes anymore.
He hung up the New Balance.
He has gone past his addiction to dad shoes.
dude,
You got Air Force Ones?
those
He's wearing
Force-
flip
whatever
flops
they're
right
called.
now.
those New Balances are like the Cadillac of footwear.
They
He just came back-
Honestly, I'll confirm that.
He just came back from a protest against Everglades development, and he's wearing his tree-hugging brand sandals.
All right, let's move on. Thanks for tuning into this podcast to see me get berated by my good friend and co-host, Kevin.
Dude's wearing the Samurai Jacks.
So if you have a preference for Paul's footwear, please put it in the comments section because we want to know. He's having trouble. He needs something to do with his hands, and his addictions are rearing their ugly heads, and his dad shoes have all been thrown away, and he's not over the emotions of that. So
And sub to the Patreon for Paul Foot Picks.
we're trying to help him through.
Yeah,
They
you-
still had room for new grass stains. He threw them out.
We passed the Nike outlet store, and I had to tie him down. It was embarrassing.
If you're part of our Patreon OnlyFans page there, you'd see under the table cam and the footwear.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
He's wearing his protest brand sandals.
Yes. My Birkenstocks.
And we have our guest back this week. Thank you for coming back again. The one and only Bethany Lynn.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Have you warmed back up to the music industry yet?
Yeah, I'm working there.
All right, you're working
Oh,
there.
I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on.
Bless you.
Never mind.
Bless
Hold
you.
on. Wait.
Bless you. Bless you. Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, it's not. I'm learning my way.
Well, you're great.
Navigating.
You should definitely continue to perform.
Yeah, I'm
not just for old
always
people.
I'm always gonna perform. I think I just, life is crazy. Where it
Well,
takes
that's a
you.
given.
Do you know the good thing about, she talked about last week with performing at the old age home
Yeah, that's a cool story.
Member unit.
Yeah, because
That sounds like a band in and of itself.
No.
Member unit. Yeah, right.
but they're dying to see her.
Smoking in the memory unit. Smoking in the memory unit.
Yeah, well, you could do like a dual bill with Jason Isbell, and you could be like Bethany Lynn and the Memory Unit.
Man, y'all don't recognize when Paul makes a banger joke.
Thank you. Yeah, they didn't. Thank you.
They were on their own thing.
Yeah,
I'm
they were.
sorry,
I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Fill us in.
No, you have to go watch the episode that you're currently
to
taping.
watch it this time?
It's like
Yeah.
Spaceballs. Like,
I don't like.
let's see what happened.
Talk.
Oh, that's the coolest scene in a movie ever, where they're watching the video of the movie to find out what they need to do next.
Right. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Dark helmet
Oh
man.
my gosh! See, I think I like Spaceballs more than I like Star Wars.
Ooh.
Hot topic.
Oh, that's it. That's a hot
It's
take.
so funny.
Lord Helmet.
And if
or-
you like that, you got to watch.
No,
you got to
I
watch
like
Thumb
Barf.
Wars.
My name is Barf. That's your real name? Bartholomew.
I'm half man and half dog. I'm my own best friend.
I'm my own best friend. He like pats himself on the back.
That movie.
That
movie.
Radar,
Well,
it's been jammed.
well, we were watching.
Raspberry.
We were watching. It was last week. Was Blazing Saddles came on, and I'm like, man, they've cut some good parts out, right?
Oh my
No, they did not.
gosh.
Well, come on, man. You
In
know what
this
parts.
woke
You know.
era.
You know
That
exactly.
movie
That is
is
not fair.
But
That
again,
movie-
the Spaceballs reference reminds me when they're in the desert and they're combing the desert.
Oh yeah.
And
We
the-
ain't found shit.
And they're combing. They're combing. Everyone's combing with a regular comb, and the black guys are combing with a pick. And I'm
With
like, oh my God,
Afro.
we ain't found shit.
We ain't found shit.
No, but I thought that was the ultimate thing. What
Yeah.
kind of challenge would that be to be the only black man west of the Mississippi and you're the sheriff? Come on.
Oh wait,
That shit's
well,
so funny.
hold
Yeah, that's
on.
awesome.
Here you go,
That
Devin.
movie's
Here we go.
so
We're gonna
funny.
go off the rails here. So,
Oh, we were on rails?
no, we never heard.
Did you know the? Can I fill something in about Blazing Saddles though?
Absolutely.
So the theme song, the guy who wrote it, like they told the guy before he wrote it, like they didn't give him any idea about what the film was about. They just told him, they were like, it's a really like good classic old timey Western film, and they like really wanted that like serious song, like that sounded like a Western film song. So they told the guy that was writing the song, like, oh, you know, it's gonna be like the best, like baddest outlaw like Western film you've ever seen. And so he's writing this song and he's singing, it's like, he rode a blazing saddle, and that's why he like gets so into it and it sounds so serious. And then I guess he found out like after what the movie was about, and he was like pissed or some shit. Like,
Oh, wow.
so fun fact about that.
Ooh, okay.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, did not know
really
that.
cool
so-
anecdote about that movie.
Did not know that. So yeah, but
Mel Brooks was a genius.
but here you go,
Gene
here you go, Devin. So, did Spaceballs foreshadow a black stormtrooper?
I don't know.
Right?
No, that was Blazing Saddles.
No. No, we just talked about the guys in the desert though.
Paul,
right?
how did I know you were going to ask me a question about black people?
I don't think they thought about
You
it
are
too
our
much.
resident
I'm
authority.
here a resident black person.
No, you're not. He's not. Well, he is currently not identifying as non-black.
We had a black Jedi before we had a black stormtrooper.
We had
Yeah.
a what?
We had a black Jedi before
Yeah.
we had a black stormtrooper.
There was
Oh.
a black Jedi.
Yeah.
Mace
Oh,
Windu.
Samuel
Mace Windu,
Jackson.
duh.
Yeah.
Brother.
Wow, you're gonna get
Hello.
you're gonna get your Star
Brother.
Wars card taken away.
Oh, brother.
Sorry,
Come
took me a
on.
second.
This guy stinks.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I'm surprised the one movie he didn't say motherfucker in.
right.
Oh, he
I
he
forgot
he
about
wanted to say
one.
that.
Oh,
shit.
he
yeah.
did. That's why the emperor blew him out the window. He's like, I'm not a motherfucker. Boom.
He at least dropped
I'm
it.
tired of this motherfucking chancellor in
They-
this motherfucking Senate.
He has to die. He's a motherfucker.
They're like, cut. Sam, you can't say motherfucker in this movie.
This is a Disney movie.
Motherfucker.
It wasn't Disney yet.
It wasn't Disney yet.
Well, technically, you're right. He
No.
went into the Avengers, which was a Disney show, right? So he did actually drop it almost at the end.
And he don't say-
and at the end game, right?
Yeah. I think so.
He goes mother, and they turn to dust.
I feel like Disney wouldn't even care nowadays. It'd just be like, yeah, this is black culture, swearing. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's totally inclusive. There you
We
go.
Love it.
That's not
We're representing the whole
Right.
community.
Well, okay. So now that we've turned our show into
Disney's the worst though, man. They've been so bad at like being inclusive. Like they try to be inclusive by like wiping out culture. I don't know. Like it's
Because if everybody's the same, you can
Yeah.
include everybody.
no.
And why haven't we had a Princess and the Frog remake? Like
Real.
that's like if you want to be inclusive, like that's all about Cajun culture and like that movie's so good.
That is.
That's like one of the best ones.
I
there
learned how to cut
is.
mushrooms in that movie.
It's such a good movie. Like, why don't they
No,
do
because
that?
they're really against frogs in the amphibian world because they don't know.
Yeah,
there's no
that's-
more Mr.
They
Toad's
don't
Wild
know how
Ride.
to CGI
It's
a
the
frog
last
yet.
bastion.
Yeah, that's right. There's no more Toad's Mr. Wild Ride at Disney.
What's
got rid of
what's
it.
the word I'm looking for?
Bastion?
It's the last bastion
Of society.
of racial tension. Is the amphibian world?
So, yeah, green. It ain't easy being green, okay? Thank you, Devin.
Kermit will never be satisfied. It'll never be easy.
That's right.
And by the way, the Muppets are very tolerant because they had an interspecies relationship going on with the frog and the pig there forever.
I almost wore a Muppet shirt today. I'm not gonna lie. Had the whole Muppets band on it.
I've got
Electric Mayhem.
It was really cool. Yeah.
I've always wondered about the mechanics of that whole relationship.
How it works.
A pig and a frog.
I don't know.
I mean, he's an amphibian. He could go in there and knock him out for days.
God.
He definitely got a tongue, probably. I don't know.
He definitely has a tongue, probably. Yeah.
I don't know. I never thought about being intimate with Kermit
but
the
wait,
Frog.
but when Kermit and Miss Piggy get intimate, are the puppeteers involved too?
I don't know. Maybe they're like making out.
Maybe that's why he's drove her so mad for him because of that tongue.
Yeah, she's got
Her acting crazy. She's like, I have no business being with a frog, but
But that tongue.
that tongue.
That tongue works. That tongue plays.
That's why she had a
That's
fly
why she's
tattooed
just
on her
so
cervix.
like angry all the time.
He's catching bugs in there.
Oh my god. She's got one of those rings.
Yep.
That's why she doesn't
He's
bathe.
like shiny.
She doesn't bathe down. She doesn't bathe down there, so the flies are always around it.
Oh my goodness, that was not okay.
You know what? I don't think
She is
Miss
a pig.
Piggy
I mean-
doesn't bathe because she is a glamorous lady.
She is.
And put some respect on her, okay?
Paul,
She really is truly a diva. I've heard her sing some songs, and I'm like, honestly, she's pretty good.
Some would say.
Giving it her all.
it's no wonder she's so jealous because Kermit's got the tongue.
And he's also very charming and witty, so, you know,
Hey, you ever
I
seen
think that.
You ever seen him run away when he was all excited?
I don't know. I'm more of a Fozzie Bear kind of guy. Or,
Waka waka.
what's
Gonzo?
the dog? Ralph the
Ralph.
dog.
Yeah, that's right.
I love Ralph the dog.
Oh wow,
He's
Ralph
definitely
the dog
my favorite
is an
character.
underutilized character
He's
in the
my
Muppet
favorite.
universe.
Piano player.
He's 100% my
question.
favorite character. He
I like
says
the
some
fact that-
shit sometimes, and I'm just like, that's hilarious.
I am so stoked about the fact that Nicki Minaj plays bass in the Muppet Band. That is cool.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
You know the Muppet Band?
No, don't talk about.
No, they got the Muppet Band. It's super cool, and they got the girl with the Nicki Minaj.
I think what is her
long
name? Like
hair,
Lola
big
or
lips.
something. She
Oh, the hippie.
don't
Yeah.
don't you put disrespect on my girl's
I am
name.
not. I'm not disrespecting. I'm like,
She's cool as shit.
what episode of like America's Got Talent or whatever?
I'm moving
Nicki
o- I'm moving
Minaj
over here
showed
so I
up
don't
looking
get,
exactly like the bass
You know
player in the Muppet Band.
I will
She gonna
defend.
fuck. She gonna fuck you up, Kevin.
What?
I want to pup you up, puppeteer you up, bitch. You want to catch these strings?
Just trying to hook up the Muppets with pop culture. It didn't
Yeah.
work very well, apparently.
Hey, catch these fists.
Didn't work very
The
well.
Muppets were my favorite, man. Like I grew up with that. Honestly, I think the Muppets is like truly what got me into music.
Seriously.
I'm not even joking. Like,
Yeah.
because I grew up, I remember my brother and sister had this old Muppets tape, and it was called Muppets Children's Songs and Stories. And it had like all these like little, you know, children's stories like Yeah, like that kind of stuff. They did Alice in Wonderland. They had all the stars come in, like they had Brooke Shields. They had Julie Andrews come in and do like a little Sound of Music thing.
I think you're hearing the good point here is that people
They did
don't
Beatles
remember,
songs.
they realize is to connect the dots between, Kevin and I probably first watching of all the Muppets, right?
Sesame Street was a groundbreaking production because it validated the fact that music is a good learning tool. I mean, to this day, when I count, I still go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean,
That's
I
right.
can't.
Do you laugh like this too? Do you go,
Yeah, that counts.
I do.
That's right.
Yes.
1 guitar player, 2 guitar player. That's what I was counting when you were on the stage the other night. I'm like, how many guitar players are up on the stage? 3 guitar.
you can kick me off anytime you want.
No,
Stage. I'm more just like, I mean, the other day we were like that show, fucking Lights. I was like, I'm pretty sure I played like half a song wrong for like half the time because I just got like in a zone and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm playing right now. I forgot. And I got in a zone and I was like, I'm not even playing the right chords right now. So I switched and I was like, okay, now I know what I'm playing. I'm playing the right thing again. But it was so funny because I'm like,
You just said it's freestyle.
I'm like, there's so many guitars here, like nobody's gonna hear me fuck up, and it's kind of crazy.
That's the advantage of a large
I
band.
know, I know.
Fake it till you make it.
But that went off well.
That's right.
And the fact that Freya and Paul were sharing the stage together, like she mentioned, like when she was little, Paul and I played in a band together, and some of her favorite memories are like I would bring her to band practice, and she would, she's an artist
it's
herself.
so funny
She'd be
'cause-
coloring and listening to the music, and for her to share the stage with Paul, that was a big deal for her.
Wait, Paul who? Just so.
Paul Pelletier.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I had ever met her before then either. So it was like kind of cool because I was like, oh, she's like my age and she's like done the same shit that I've done, like with my dad, and like been in bands with him and like played gigs with him. And I was like, oh, she gets it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
she's cool.
Yeah. That was fun.
It was so much fun.
That was a good day to have so many people on stage and playing.
Yeah,
so many
I gotta
things.
get out more.
It was cool. Even every musician that came up and played, regardless of skill level, we all had a good time. It was a good day. I'm really proud of that. And we're going to do it again April. Did we already do it? April 29th.
No.
Did we already do it?
We
what
already
day
did
is
that.
it?
We already did that in the past.
April 29th was the Treasure
Time
Coast
is a
Blues
flat
Society.
Right. So the public
Jam
house.
at the public house.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
And it was epic.
Yep. So very cool. You were there.
Bethany was there. You
Very-
came.
that's right.
And you did a great job.
You just don't know. You just don't know you were actually there.
Yeah.
We went,
So shall we? Well, we have to break down the barrier of time here because I'm technically in the UK at the moment, right? So we've actually recorded a few episodes in advance.
He's actually force
Wait.
projecting like Luke.
are you breaking the fourth wall right now?
yeah, because everyone knows that when you're doing a production, you should never look directly at the camera.
I feel like I'm in that movie, like, I don't know, one of those weird thriller movies where everything just falls apart all at once and you're like, whoa, what? What's going on?
And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids and their dog.
I know. Reggie?
Somebody's done too many Scooby snacks.
We like the
Guilty.
snacks.
Yeah,
Guilty.
yeah, right.
Guilty.
It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that Shaggy was like a raging pothead.
I know. And then
Really?
you're like, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
You're
They're
like,
both.
what?
They're both him and his dog, right? So wait, and let me ask you this. So we're talking about those cartoons from that era. I did a whole short about like Josie and the Pussycats, the drummer from the Josie and the Pussycats. So because it was all Hanna-Barbera, there were similar characters almost in some of those shows.
Yeah, a lot of them looked the same.
Yeah. There was a Shaggy kind of character in Josie and the Pussycats. So I don't know.
You know about speaking of Hanna-Barbera, you know about the origins of like Adult Swim, right?
Well, hold on. Before I want to know all about that because Adult Swim is awesome. But Josie and the Pussycats was a Hanna-Barbera production, just like Scooby-Doo, and like a ton of other stuff. But Josie and the Pussycats deserves a lot more fame than they got. They kind of like, it felt like they didn't really catch on, but they were the better one. An all-girl band, like of cartoon characters.
I've never even freaking heard of them.
It was like
What?
go on YouTube
Josie
and type
and
in
the
Josie and the
Pussycats.
Pussycats. They're amazing. It's awesome.
Okay.
It was all a three-piece chick band, and
It was cartoon?
and they solved crime also. And they showed up. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
some
they did do a
crossover.
crossover episode
That's
with
right.
Scooby-Doo.
That's right. Yeah.
And then what about the
they did a live action version
the
of
other
it back in the early
Hanna-Barbera?
2000s.
It was the
Like
who was it?
Charlie's Angels, but like they're
But they're in a band. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Tara Reid. Tara Reid was the drummer.
All right,
And,
that's right
yeah.
up my alley.
Yeah. So,
Girl power type stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Like silly girl stuff. Like,
Yeah. They wore costumes and put all that.
They were scantily clad female cartoon characters playing
Oh.
guitars.
yeah.
The 70s.
But
What a time.
the Groovy Ghoulies. Do you remember the Groovy Ghoulies?
No.
They were another Hanna-Barbera
Okay.
act that never got. They were like think of the Munsters, but they had a house band.
Oh.
They were all a band.
You mean like the Misfits? Were
The
they
Monster Mash?
The Misfits band?
no.
The Glenn Danzig?
Groovy Ghoulies. Look
Groovy
it up.
Ghoulies. Okay.
They're awesome.
That's a great
They
name.
were like
Yeah,
a.
That's a
they
great
were,
name.
They were
We should-
like a.
we should steal it.
There was a variety cartoon show where the Groovy Ghoulies and the Archies and the what were we just talking about, the girl band?
Yeah. Josie.
Josie and the Pussycats. They all appeared on the same show.
I suppose I wasn't alive then.
You were not.
No.
Not even close. The Groovy Ghoulies. You got to check out the Groovy Ghoulies. They were awesome.
Armand, are you flexing?
You haven't seen his full strength.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
No, I'm dating myself, but that's like 70s cartoons. The Groovy Ghoulies. You got to check them out.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Doesn't not. But yeah.
You,
So
you reminded me.
Get stoned one night and be like, oh, I'm going to watch
you're
some
gonna love it.
cartoons
Hell yeah.
and be like, oh, let's watch that
The
one.
Groovy Ghoulies. Like imagine a vampire playing organ with the foot pedals and
Heck yeah.
Frankenstein playing guitar.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You reminded me about Adult Swim because you were talking about a lot of the like characters and things looking the same in the Hanna-Barbera art style. Because when Adult Swim first came on the air, they owned, it was a Turner Network thing.
Okay.
So they owned all the rights to all that old animation, but they didn't have the budget really to make new stuff or very much new stuff.
So they cut it all in?
What they did is they just reused old animation and dubbed new dialogue on top of it. So
That sounds awesome.
well, watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast. That's exactly what that is.
Space Ghost was a Hanna-Barbera.
Oh yeah, there you go.
One of
Space
my
Ghost-
favorites.
Coast to coast.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast was a
The remake.
late night show on Adult Swim hosted by Space Ghost.
Yeah.
And a few other.
Yes, I've had forgotten all
characters.
about that. That
And
was
that's-
awesome.
That was one of many shows that were just reused animation with
That's
redubbed.
cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, redubbed.
That's like this show.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this show's the same. It's actually the same episode every time.
This show is currently redubbed in 5 different English
It's just
languages.
regurgitated bullshit. No, I'm just kidding.
And if you watched the last episode, we hit the
just-
speak English,
puked a
proper
little
English
in my
button on Bethany.
Paul asked me out, and I just puked a little in my mouth.
I said, "Hey, do you want to go see Star Wars, Kevin?"
No, I seen
drive-in.
them all. I seen them all. Not at the drive-in.
Show you my
Definitely
exhaust
not.
Yeah.
port.
You've
Hey,
seen one.
I've got,
you've seen
I've
them
got a
all.
bucket of popcorn. Do you want some?
Yeah. Oh, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Whoa.
You Princess Leia
You
then?
guys definitely do need a picture.
Is Kevin
on
Princess
for
Leia
sure.
then?
No, I was going to say, do you see any cinnamon buns on the side of my head?
Yes, I do.
Apparently I've
We're
got
all
them at
kind
the
of Princess Leia right now.
In different phases.
Yeah, we got the Princess Leia cinnamon bun headphones on.
I prefer her like little braids that she has in the third movie.
I prefer the Jedi, the
like
Jedi
little
Return,
braids.
the Jedi movie. She's Jabba's
that's
palace.
The third one. Yep.
Every
Princess-
teenage boy who went to the movie theaters in the 80s saw Princess Leia. Like, whoa!
Oh yeah,
I feel
Well,
awkward.
that was the first everybody's introduction
Whoa.
into the female body. If you're a science
I
geek.
got a Wookiee in my pants.
Oh my. So if I'm not mistaken,
Do we have any
in the
Riffs
Star
Rhythms on
Wars
this
universe, Princess I Want a Leia is later in time as opposed to Queen I'm a Hottie.
Oh,
Yeah, who's hotter, Carrie Fisher or Natalie Portman?
oh.
At the same age?
Are you okay, Devin? Did you
Natalie
just
Portman.
Yeah.
that was a long. Because you're thinking about both.
Well, the thing is, I have a lot of love and respect for the original trilogy, but I'm kind of into Natalie Portman a little bit more.
Natalie Portman is a great actress.
I'm gonna say Natalie Portman just because I feel like we have more similar features.
Oh, that's a self-serving
I know.
analysis.
Well,
Good job.
Fuck it, bitch.
Good job.
I'm not interested in women, so if I'm gonna come up with a reason, it's gotta be.
I like that woman because she looks like May, is what you said.
But Devin, you definitely would.
cares?
You definitely
Yes.
would want to
No,
hang out
I-
with the
High
real.
five on that one. That was
You
well
know
done.
what? Carrie Fisher though is gorgeous, and if I could look like anyone, I would choose to look like Carrie Fisher, opposed to Natalie Portman. So self-degrading as well.
Well, the first you look at the very first Star Wars that came out, right, and the same thing goes for Mark Hamill, where the accent he got into and messed his face up, right,
Yeah, they worked that into the script.
Right.
Good job there.
and
Good job,
yeah,
George.
yeah. And what was it? What was
You know
your-
what they didn't work into the script is Carrie Fisher's coke nail.
Well, that's my point, right? Is she right?
Well,
yeah.
how do you think she got that figure for the
That's right. Yeah,
costume?
that's right, man.
Like, we're going to put you in a costume and it's
Yeah.
going to
She's
weigh
like-
about 2 ounces and
Yeah, come on.
everybody's going to see everything.
Devin, back
well,
in the-
I'm going to have to do a whole lot of coke to be ready for that.
Yeah, we didn't have
episode.
Ozempic back in our day like you guys do.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only dope.
Oh, that's what.
You're my only plug.
Oh,
You're my
that's
only plug.
That's the true aspect of the movie is Obi-Wan was her dealer.
Could have been.
And she's like, in the next episode, I'm going to
And
be
her
half
father.
naked. You're my
she
only
doesn't
hope.
know, but her father is like the ringleader.
Yeah.
The whole
yeah,
business.
he's the ringleader.
Obi-Wan
of the-
Kenobi's the only one who can like maybe sell more coke than he.
So we're writing
Vader.
the Star Wars parody Trap Wars right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not quite sure where to go now. Do we want to just go right into our
Instead
music
of the
review?
Death Star, it's like the Death 8-ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an 8-ball. That's like an 8 million ball. That's not a moon. That's a big giant ball of coke.
That's not a moon. That's a crack rock.
That's not a moon. That's Uranus.
There's a town in Connecticut called Mianus.
What? There is not.
There is two.
My
There is two.
Uranus.
It's,
and boom, 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 boom,
MIAN.
U.S.
I think so. I think that's the way it's spelled.
I'm surprised that hasn't become a huge porn hub.
Am I
pun
anus in
Well,
the USA?
You know,
Am
there's a
I-
lot of
Of course,
people
we
that
wouldn't know
come.
now because you can't watch porn in Florida anymore.
There's a lot of people that come and go to and from Mianus.
Do they really? Mm-hmm. It's good to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of diversity in Mianus too.
What's the other?
Wow.
What's the other drop, Devin?
It's good to know as well.
Yep.
Your anus is very accommodating.
No, Mianus is very
no,
accommodating.
I'm not going to say that.
You already said it. Too late. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt.
No, Uranus is a totally different place.
Well, it is.
But I'm talking about Mianus.
Okay.
Well, we could talk about.
How about my anus and Uranus meet up?
You weren't supposed to do that.
I don't know what we would call it.
They make stuff that will accommodate that sort of meeting. You can buy those at certain stores.
And use Riffs and Rhythms product code at 10% off at adamandeve.com right now, and you can get exactly what Kevin's talking for.
You'll find Darth Maul's double-sided dildo.
They're doing a convention at the Holiday Inn.
Yes.
Where Mianus and Uranus.
Yes. It's at a Holiday Inn Express so that you can get a smart deal.
But you know what happens if Mianus and Uranus actually ever meet?
The universe
it turns into a black hole. It turns into a black hole.
It's matter and antimatter combined.
It would be annihilation of all.
We were all on the same path.
All anuses would be destroyed immediately.
And it would be nothing but dark matter.
Yeah. Wait, what
fecal matter.
My.
Dark fecal matter.
Turn into space
we would all truly turn to the dark side.
Oh my God.
Well,
all this.
Oh my goodness. Now, how do we recover from that?
Hey, let's do a song review. Let's try to shift gears here. So
there we go.
Yeah, there we go. So, oh boy.
I can't believe you don't want to talk about my anus anymore. I'm sorry.
I'm not quite sure.
This is like a family gathering thing. Like whenever my family gets together, we always talk about the town in Connecticut called Mianus.
That would be fine.
We go for hours. We could go for hours.
So does my anus have a red light or is it multiple intersections?
There's a lot of traffic in my anus.
Oh, there it is. Yes, exit 5.
Are the roads in Mianus one way or two ways?
There's a highway running through my anus.
So wow. Yeah. So my anus is actually
It's
pretty
just what
popular.
happens.
Apparently, it's hard to get in.
This is what normally
sometimes.
happens when we have girls on the show. Or, they're much more. Wow.
We just like jokes just as much as guys.
I know, yeah, but you definitely
We
can
just
hold
don't sit there and talk about porn all the time. So we have to come up with some other funny, dirty
Creative.
jokes that aren't about porn.
We just talk about
At least for me.
my anus.
I try to come up with
So-
funny, dirty jokes that aren't necessarily it's not like I'm
Blatant.
saying something about my actual anus. I'm saying something about a town. So it's funny.
Yes, but the misleading nomenclature
But that's what's
is-
funny about it.
you-
That's humor.
you-
That's comedy right
It
there.
is, and it's fucking hilarious.
Are you double entendring?
I'm entendring all the way.
Been entendring my anus.
I'm entendring and
So, which brings me to a point. Actually, you are a really good songwriter.
oh, thank you.
You've got some good songs, and I've really appreciated your ability to make a good lyric, and clearly your ability to entendre my anus. to get the double and triple entendre. That's the wittiness about the crafting of lyrics. That is so cool.
I love it. I love
you
songwriting.
clearly have that.
It's it's just a fun way to kind of actually get your jokes out there and stuff. There's so many little one-liners I say in my head, and I might be in my car or something and be like, oh, if I said this out loud to my friends, they'd probably find it funny, but I'm in the car right now and I'm going to forget about it. So I just write it down and then I'll go back to it and I'll be like, this is funny. I can make a whole thing about this. And that's kind of how I write is I think of one topic where it's I got the ocean song that I do that hasn't been recorded yet, but I'm working on it. But, I started thinking about somebody being like the ocean, and then I thought of all these other ways that I could describe the way that they make me feel using the ocean. But I could also do it in a funny way too if I wanted to. If I wanted to insult someone, an insulty song, I could do that too.
Get you salty like the ocean.
Yeah,
Insulty.
I have that in the line.
That's a good pun.
I have that in the song. You're salty. That's what I wrote.
Is it salty in my anus? 'Cause I hope not, because that would be
Well,
scratchy.
there is an ocean in my anus.
This makes a great segue to our song we're going to review here.
Segue to our sponsor.
Yes.
No, we're not.
Segue to our sponsor here. Yes.
Yes, reach my anus.
for solar. So Kiss My Sunshine, where the sunshine don't speak.
Yes, go ahead and put some solar power where the sun don't shine.
There you go. So the Reach Solar is Riffs or Rhythms. So yeah. So do you know how to play this game?
No. What
Okay.
game? We playing a game?
There's
Yes.
a game?
Yeah, we should make it a game. Yeah. So this is whether the song makes a riff or the rhythm that makes the song.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. So
Okay.
you've seen it. We review songs, not whether they're good or bad, but if it's the riff or the rhythm that is the most memorable aspect of the
Okay.
song. So
All right.
this is Satan's Taint.
Oh, gosh.
We had the drummer and the
Great.
guitar player
That's a scenic route past your
from this
That's
band
one of the
with
exits.
us a few
That's
weeks
Christ,
ago.
Christ is Lord.
Absolutely. But it's. Have you ever seen the band? What's the name of the band?
Overkill?
No. Yeah.
No.
Well, Overkill. The guitar player from Overkill is on in this band.
Okay.
But then Jim McCord
Metalicious?
from Metalicious is also the drummer on this band.
Okay.
So friends of ours both.
All right, so we're going to review Satan's Taint. Is the riff or the rhythm that makes this song? Axe to the head of my enemies.
Actually, it's a good segue from Mianus to Satan's Taint.
I know. It's like you planned it. Everything is being attacked.
This is 100% rhythm. Yeah. I get that the riff's there, but I think the rhythm is more like it gets you hooked at the beginning, you know?
It's driving. Yeah. Like that break? I could see myself in the pit right now, and I would definitely need some of that salon pause, because I'm next morning, because I'm feeling it.
I could see myself in the pit of hell with this. Yeah.
Can you pick up, is there more than one guitar? we go.
There's that rhythm.
This is very complex.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
It's definitely metal.
It's Viking metal.
Viking metal.
I'm more a pirate metal person. No, I'm just kidding.
We gotta ask Bobby and Jim. Do they have merch? That's
an awesome logo.
Yeah, axe to the head of my enemies.
That's the album cover art.
Yes,
and it's beautiful.
Are they gonna put Satan's Taint on the t-shirts?
Make underwear.
I mean, they sell makeup that's like.
So I want to go ahead and talk about the fact that it is most certainly the rhythm. No, it is most certainly the riff that dominates that song. And I want to say that there are 10 different riffs in that song. And let me also accompany that by saying the rhythm is insanely important to the song, but it is quite clear from listening to that recording that it is the rhythm that is accommodating the riff. There is only one change in that song where the rhythm leads the riff. Every change in that song, aside from the one, the riff is the dominating thing. So much to the point that the time signature and the tempo changes. The drummer changes to accommodate the next riff. And that's the reason why I say it's the riff.
So I was leaning in that because, again, it's the drums and the drive can always be a little misleading on the driving force of a song, right? Is it the rhythmic song? I try to start digging to your point about the riffs to listen in. And I have to agree. I was initially leaning rhythms, but as I was getting into it, it was like I said, it's a very layered and complex song.
Yeah, there's like 10 different riffs that drive that song.
Yeah.
And they're all super strong.
Yeah. So again, I love again, I know we're just straight up talking about riff or the rhythm. I was almost tempted to actually go rhythm. Because again, are you aware of the rhythm, Bethany?
The rhythm is when we can't decide which is better.
Speech impediment.
Yes. That's when Paul's been drinking too much rum. And he says
At
riff.
first I thought, I was like, I don't know.
No, actually, Lefty Hathaway coined that phrase.
Yeah. Good shout out.
It's
to
when neither is more important.
So yeah, so is it the rhythm? Is it the riff? There were certain parts. I mean, again, I there's nothing I don't like about that song. I love the driving of the drums. I love that breakdown. I love those time changes. And the vocals, just attacking of it. So
that second half kind of really made me think of Doom.
Okay.
The game.
Oh.
A game.
Yeah. the
Like the music
the OG game.
ready, guys?
Yeah.
Here's the ASMR.
So
Nice.
all over that.
No,
Do not come.
All over that mic.
I'm bleeding out the face.
So yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I know this is gonna be tough. I should be supporting my fellow drummers, but I really was digging the riff. Yeah. So all right. So Bethany, where are you at?
Well, I'm not much of a metal connoisseur, but I do like some metal, and I have to say, for me, it's definitely like the rhythm. I just feel that it's, the way I look at it is it's like if I had to hear somebody practicing the guitar part of that song all by themselves versus if I had to hear somebody playing the drum part of that song by themselves, I'd actually probably be a little bit more like interested in listening to them play the drums.
Okay.
There's just more going on there. I don't know. Like it was like
Yeah, the drum.
I just
every bit
felt
of the
like
drum
I
track
was
is spectacular.
It kind of,
Good job, Jim.
and that's why I kind of like metal too. I mean, it's one thing about metal is it's very close to classical, with like the way it's formatted, how you can just like change time measures and like time signatures and stuff like that. And I think without a good rhythm section, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Ooh, that's very fair.
That's a very insightful comment from a solo acoustic guitar player.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
really good.
I play acoustic guitar, but I play rhythm guitar.
Well said. Look at her.
And I tell people all the time, I'm a mean rhythm guitarist because I make jokes because, everyone's like, oh, it's not really that hard to play rhythm guitar, but like setting the rhythm and setting the beat and like getting the swing of things so that people know what style of song they're playing, it's actually kind of tricky, like you have to play it a certain way or strum things a certain way or
Yeah, the difference between a country swing and a southern rock song and a jazz tune, they're all swing.
Yeah.
and like with piano it's the same
radically
thing.
different kinds of swing.
Like I think that's why I like guitar and piano because they're melodic instruments, but they're rhythmically melodic. So you can like put staccatos and beats in there and like you can.
And so I think one of the shows that Brad had talked about was that it was hard because you can hear some of that rhythmic playing in a guitar too. That can be a little bit that rhythmic style. Piano, keyboards, etc. is an extension of percussion per se, but you can definitely play a very we see a lot of soloists that here in our area that put a little bit of rhythm feel into their strumming
And
patterns.
it adds so much though.
Right.
Like you don't realize because like I think a lot of the issues with a lot of solo musicians that they have is that all their songs sound the same, and it's because they don't add that rhythmic value in there where it's like
Right.
they're kind of hitting each note the way the song goes.
Right.
It's like that in itself takes a lot of like creativity to like make it your own thing because
Right.
you're not always going to be able to when you're a rhythm guitarist you're not going to be able to play the lead and the backup and everything at once. So that's like with me, I don't really try to play everything the way it is like on the album or on the guitar or whatever. I listen to it and I hear like the little notes that are in the riff and I try to add the note in somewhere in the chord so that you can kind of get that like beat and that sound where it's like you're also somewhat playing the riff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, Mr. Ghost.
I am not really a metal connoisseur. I do enjoy
To
some.
coin a phrase.
Yeah.
But I kind of do lean towards what you said you almost went to, which was rhythm, because the way I analyze this as a non-musician is I think of it as what part of it did I, after I'm done listening to the song, what part of it sticks in my brain the most? And for me, I kind of both equally are necessary, in my head. When I try to think of this song, when I think of just riffs, it doesn't really work. When I think of just the rhythm, it doesn't. It's empty, kind of. To me, they work. They kind of are both necessary equally.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're a rhythm?
For this one, yeah. I'm going rhythm.
Dang, I'm alone in my little rhythm crowd.
Yeah.
Whatever. My dad was a drummer, so I'm biased.
Well, all viewpoints are valid,
Yeah.
and that's not sarcasm.
Nope. So yeah. So all right. So
But
yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought
really
this
like
was
this stuff.
America.
I have been listening to this stuff, and it's, especially this album, it is well produced, well written, well played, and really good stuff. Satan's Taint. All the songs written by, Bobby Gustafson from...
Yeah. Overkill. And,
Overkill,
Yeah. So
yeah.
check out the last episodes we just did, with Bobby and Jim, and just talking all about metal stuff, touring with all these metal bands, stories about hanging out with. Wasn't there a story about Pantera or all
Tons of stories about everybody. And I was looking at the pictures. Bobby looks really super familiar to me, and I figured out why. It's because he looks just like my old friend Max.
Okay.
He looks just like Max.
Shout out, Max.
Max is no longer with us. He was years ago. He was the president of the Wings of Gold motorcycle club, and he a close friend. And anyway, he looks just like Max.
Okay.
Shout out Max.
So clearly, they share the strong genes of a Northern European heritage.
So yeah. So all right. Yeah. So there it is. Satan's Taint. That was interesting song. Again, they've got a whole bunch of other CDs, songs, and so forth.
Yeah, they got a bunch of stuff.
On Megaforce Records. Again, I think that's
Megaforce
probably
Records, yeah,
probably
it's
our
great.
first local or artist who was on a national
record company,
record, right?
yes.
Yeah. So definitely, can't wait to hear those guys check out, play more. So, and especially, I'm surprised. We had to get, maybe we get Russ and those guys back on the stage with AMOV and
Maybe.
and then
Well, it's
Saints
just
Taint and all
an
that. Yeah.
indication of the tight family that the Treasure Coast, musician scene is.
Yeah.
We had Russ on, who is the singer for Metal Luscious, who is in the same band with Jim McCourt, who is the drummer for Satan's Taint, who plays with Bobby Gustafson in Satan's Taint, who's from Exodus.
Yeah. So it's all again
So
threading everything through. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Super cool.
It was cool.
Nice and tight, like Mianus.
I love it.
I got nothing because I'm not. Anything I can say from that is going to be.
Yeah, I've got no valid input on that either.
All right. So yeah. All right. So there you go. So Satan's Taint, check it out there. So the guys who were on the show recently. So Bethany, you got another Tales from the Road. You got any kind of crazy stories? Come on.
Crazy
come
stories. Crazy stories.
Yeah. Whether it's
I don't remember any of them.
So they were good stories.
Oh yeah.
They were
yeah.
great stories.
That's what she said.
I've gone to some cool parties in Nashville.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't really know what else. I'm trying.
You
to
remember arriving to a lot of
trying
really
to think
good parties.
of yeah, I remember arriving to a lot of great parties. I remember sleeping on the couch at a lot of great parties. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some funny stories.
It doesn't have to be funny. It just can be notable for whatever reason.
I know. There's so many notable things, but God, I don't remember them because so many notable things happen in my life. I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't know.
So many notable things. Oh yeah, we'll note one.
I know. I'm trying right now. You're putting me on the spot.
Well, I can.
Put me on blast
I'll
right
fill
now.
some time while you're thinking about that. We were in
gosh.
Cleveland, Tennessee, and we got a chance to talk to the owner of a very notable music club. What was the name of that place? Tiny's or...
Seems very notable.
Again, notable, but
It was in remember, and we were there, and we got to meet the owner and his wife, and she talked about the river hippies, Pokies in Cleveland, Tennessee. Is it in Cleveland or somewhere near Cleveland, Tennessee? And he told us this story about how like this place Pokies has been a rock and roll haven for 40 years, and so. Part of the deal was they had a band house, right? And so he talked about the fact that they were refurbishing the place, and he was pulling everything out of the band house, and in pulling the cushions out of the couch and throwing the couch over out, and he ended up with about I think $30,000 or $40,000 worth of drugs that
Oh my god.
that bands had just left behind because they were just not sure where they were at.
Damn.
He was like, "Yeah, that paid for the whole renovation right there."
That's what they call it.
But they ended up closing. I think he retired on the abandoned drug money that he found.
They call that in home improvement a good fixer upper and downer.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm dropping them
Yeah,
today,
you
right?
would.
Yeah.
That's impressive for a drummer.
They gotta have charisma because they're like way back there, you know.
They do, yeah. But the cool part about drummers, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. Nobody can see you.
Yeah. At least from the waist down, you know.
Yeah.
No matter.
I did wear a kilt on stage one time playing the drums.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you wear it like traditionally Scottish?
Oh boy. Is she really going to go there?
I'm just.
No, she already did.
Yeah.
Well, I
answer the
mean, you were
question,
playing the
young man.
drums.
We got a big
It might-
snare covering everything. Come on now, answer the
poor
question.
stool.
young man.
Now I'm being put on the hot seat?
Yes,
Yeah,
you are
hot
on the
seat.
hot seat. When you were playing drums in your kilt, did you wear it properly in tradition?
Oh, tradition starting Lucy?
Say that
my
again.
God.
Yeah.
You know how they were. You're traditionally
Thank you,
supposed to wear a
Tracy.
kilt.
She's the only one that's getting my jokes tonight.
I got it. It just wasn't
Yes.
I just didn't even hear you.
I said tradition St. Lucy.
Oh. That's where I'm from.
My goodness.
It's a living hell.
She wants to know if you had any underwear on.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah, that's
Wow,
the
do I-
traditional way to wear a kilt.
This sounds like there's a kiss and tell episode
Have
here
a
going on.
breeze. You know, well, I was just curious.
So,
I mean, you could say no.
Actually, he
It's
did,
all right.
and he got it all caught up in the snares, and it was all
It's not
fizzy
supposed
and
to
stuff.
be. It's not supposed to be like weird. I'm just curious because I want to know
He
if
is-
that's what people do
He's
when they wear
first
their
generation
kilts
Scottish. Both of his parents were born in Scotland. Like he is just
out. So
as
is that a yes?
he is genetically just as Scottish as everyone who lives in Edinburgh.
Kevin knows he dropped some money on the floor. Say, hey, can you pick that up for me?
Look, I'm not trying to make it weird. Like, it's common knowledge to, like, my whole family that my dad goes commando. So, like, it's not, like, it's not supposed to be weird. I was just asking.
Like, can you do me a favor and have him wear underwear while he's working on my guitar?
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
I'll be like, please, for Kevin's sake. It's like, for heaven's sake.
I just
for
dropped off for
Kevin's sake, yes.
I just dropped off. I have a Guild guitar that has been nearly destroyed.
Don't show my dad this episode. He'll be so
And
disappointed
I brought
in
it
me.
to. There is a person in St. Lucie County who is the only person that I would ever trust a Guild guitar to get repaired, and it is Gagged in Guitars.
Mm.
And now that I know that he's going to be working on it without his underwear on,
It's not like he's like putting his hands down his pants or anything. He's just working on
You have
your
to pay
guitar.
extra for that.
yeah,
So are you trying to say you're the best, Luther,
All right, we got a little too
Yeah.
obsessed with Satan's taint.
Yeah.
no, he just can't even pronounce
Yeah.
things. It's not his fault.
Lucifer.
He got hit in the head with a cymbal when he was young.
A luthier.
That's it.
Yeah. I think that's what we were trying to
Luthier.
work
Yeah.
up
Lex
to.
Luthier
Lex Lucifer.
is that if the best Lex Luthier in St. Lucie County was a nudist, would you go to him?
I would have someone else bring my guitar.
Yeah. Delivery. I don't blame you though. I don't want to walk in.
I mean, I don't need
naked.
all that. I got
I don't
my
want to see people naked. Even the people
Man.
I'm in love with, I'm still like,
Put your clothes on.
like oh shit.
Oh, she dropped her skull.
They're going. That's my skull.
They're dipping.
That was not dope.
That's what
Speaking
some
of walking to people's houses when they're naked, I used to deliver pizzas, and one time I went to this old lady's house, and part of the note, like for the delivery, was to go to the side gate because they were outside using the pool or whatever.
Yep.
And this super old lady, like late 70s, maybe mid late 70s, something like that, straight up bikini, just did not give a fuck, just like, and she did not look good in it. She was not rocking that. But she opened the gate.
In her own home, she was wearing
she
a
said,
bikini and she
"Let me
didn't
pay
look
for that
good in
pizza."
it. How dare she?
But she made it such a big point that I had to deliver it to the side gate for her to answer it, and then made me
she was
follow
in the
her.
pool.
She made me follow her. There were other people there that could have answered.
She didn't-
made me follow her in to put the pizzas down somewhere, and
I
I'm
think
like,
you're being a little harsh.
No, I think what she was doing was
I
she
felt
was
sexually
I
harassed.
think
she was sexually
I think
harassing
you're
you.
being a little harsh.
You were being sexually harassed. Your instincts are
a
correct.
woman who wasn't hot was wearing a bikini in her own pool
I
and
think
asked
you-
a pizza to
yeah.
be delivered to the backyard.
I think you
I
missed
think you're
out.
taking it a little too.
So where did you have to
No,
take
honestly,
this pizza
you
to?
missed out on the true benefits
That's right,
of being
yeah.
a pizza
Like,
delivery.
That's right.
Yeah.
Extra anchovies, man.
If it were a hot young girl, this would not even be a thing. Like you'd just be like,
no, I would have been equally as uncomfortable.
you
I
would
think.
have been like, oh my gosh.
No.
Oh,
no,
a
wait.
hot girl in a bikini asking me to come to her backyard
No.
to deliver me a pizza because she's in the pool.
Sorry.
You'd have been like,
I'm on the clock,
"Damn,
ma'am."
shawty."
Oh, come to her backyard? Is that what you kids
Yeah.
call it nowadays?
Yeah.
I think you're reading into it too much.
Sorry, man. This is not delivered. It's DiGiorno's.
I don't know. As a girl's girl, I'm gonna say
Did you miss a
think-
shot?
I think you're being a little harsh.
Oh.
She's
Well, all I'm gonna say is me too.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too.
hashtag me too.
Yeah, I did. What gave it away when she said, "Hey, can you bring this into the house?" And you kept going into. It was
When
like
she opened
It was
her-
like,
it was
he's
into her
like, is
bedroom.
this gonna be a naughty
Yeah.
porno?
No, when
Yeah.
she
Like,
opened the gate and said, "Oops, I
pizza
dropped
man?
something," and
What?
the young pizza man and the
Oh.
old lady from
I
Florida.
dropped the cash in the grass. But
You
I better
missed
bend
out
down and
on
find it.
millions of dollars. She's probably
Maybe-
a
this is
wealthy
poor-
widow.
I know, yeah.
Who's
She
looking
had the
for
whole
someone
podcast
to
This
take
was-
care of her cats when they died.
Leaving Las Vegas going on
This
here.
was Port
yeah.
St. Lucie. I missed out on
Maybe
tens of
she
dollars.
knew you were really good at like audio technology, and she's like trying to set up
Oh my
No, I
goodness.
try it.
a movie here.
I hear you're the ghost on the aux. Armand, you have all this content for the next show. You know that, right? Take notes.
So what color was the bikini she was wearing?
Yeah.
He knows. He knows. Come on.
You do know.
It was a dark green.
That's what I thought.
It was a vomit
That's
green.
what I thought.
You didn't see it, but the face he just made was hilarious. Like it was like he was like Vietnam flashback, like
It was probably the same color as the fatigues they wore in Vietnam.
Hey, wait,
Which company
It's a
was
dark
this
green.
for? Which company was this for?
Big Apple.
Oh, so it's a mom and pop.
Did she have big apples?
Oh my.
I will go on the record and say fuck Big Apple though.
Oh, okay. There goes that sponsor.
Oh, damn.
Oh well.
Well, I'd like to say fuck every job I've ever had and lost to.
They lost
While I'm
me.
here.
No, I didn't lose that job. They lost me.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Same.
That's what they all say.
I'd like to say fuck every job I've ever had too.
Jobs are overrated.
Take
Jobs.
this job in.
This is an anti shout out.
This
to
is
working.
an anti shout out to working. And let me be clear, as a person who has not seen a W-2 in nearly 30 years, I would like to say
W9 gang.
that jobs are the most efficient tool to prevent people from becoming wealthy that has ever been invented.
Start your own business for sure.
America, anyone who...
I mean, the system's for you when you're working for yourself.
If you live in the United States, you need to understand that the tax system is designed to discourage you from having a job and encourage you to be a business owner. Why? Because the American government knows that being a business owner, entrepreneurs are what drive the economy. So if you are watching this and you do not like the American tax system, my proposal is this. It's because you have a job, and nobody wants that. A job is a great place to start, but it is an embarrassing place to end. What you want to do is you want to start your own business. Do whatever it is that you can do to make money, and do it under your own name, and do not have a job.
I mean, if you're
End of commercial.
If you're new in like whatever industry you're doing, like I think it's beneficial to like work some places and like learn how the way it operates and stuff. But as you're, an adult and your frontal lobe develops and you start to develop reason, you're like, holy shit. They take so much of your money and the system is there. I know like everyone says like,
basically the bare minimum consciousness level makes you aware of how shitty it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like, everyone's like, fuck the government, but like, there's these systems here so that like they're set up so that like you literally cannot fail if you just like try really hard. Like you could be banned from everything, but like the US Postal Service, like you could still get people who will like fund whatever you're doing through the US Postal Service. Like they could send you checks and like there's all these things and it's like
until they start debanking you.
Well, like they could kick you off of everything. There's people out there who have been like kicked off of everything, but it's like it's just the system's there to help you out, and
that's my.
There's so many
Bitcoin
things
stance.
that so many people can do. I mean, everyone's got a skill. You can apply it somehow, and it helps everyone out too.
The American dream offers nothing more than the opportunity to do a good job. It does not provide you with anything. Nothing. There is nothing in the American dream that suggests that anybody's going to give you anything. The American dream is the fact that in this country,
you're free.
We have the freedom to get to do what we want to do. USA. And if you're going to get some testicles, you can go ahead and do whatever you want.
You can get testicles if you want testicles.
You could
literally just walk right in and be like, I want testicles.
But let's be clear about this.
I can get more than what I got.
That in enjoying the American dream, you are going to work your ass off, and you're going to feel as though nobody likes you. You're going to feel like you're not in the herd. You're going to feel like you're going against everything. But that is what life is like when you are creating your own thing.
I think either way, like regardless of whether you work for someone or you work for yourself, you're going to be working your ass off. But it's like, who do you want to work for? Do you want to work to help somebody else make money, or do you want to work to help yourself build and build build yourself?
Well said.
Put energy into like your projects and your ideas, because like, don't let the fucking boss man think that he's better than you. Because he's usually not. He's usually a fucking loser.
No, he's hired you because he can't do what you're doing.
Especially like restaurant jobs. You ever like look at the people who manage restaurant jobs? God damn. That movie, Waiting.
Oh,
that movie was
so real.
So accurate.
There's a movie called Waiting?
Yeah.
You need to watch that, yes.
It's got, what's his face?
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Is it going to be one of those things where like it's idiocracy, like I'll regret watching it because it's too true?
You probably will regret watching it because it'll definitely change your restaurant experience.
No, my restaurant experience has already been changed.
It's very true. So like if you want to know what it's like, if you've never worked in a restaurant and you want to know what it's like working in a restaurant, that movie.
It puts all the like caricatures on display, like all the
it's like
stereotypes.
all the people that you
of
work
people.
with.
So, like,
yeah.
does the manager get fired because he's hitting on all the waitresses?
Doesn't get fired.
Does
He
get-
doesn't get fired,
does
but
he-
he is
does-
hitting on the hostess
yeah,
and
does he-
stuff.
yeah.
Does
He's
the-
like pervy
Yeah,
with the underage
yeah.
Does
hostess.
the
Yeah, we're the
restaurant
underage
close?
You called
Does
it.
the restaurant close because the owner is banging the girls who work there?
No,
And
no.
in a divorce,
it doesn't
the whole
end
thing
in that.
is done.
It just ends in like the dude who's like who everyone thinks is like, you know,
Yes.
they're like,
So-
oh, he's still uptight and like he's like, you know.
So it's the basically like the, I wouldn't say the main character, but kind of like the stand-in for the viewer
Mm-hmm.
character. He's like the newbie on the job, and he's a younger guy. It might be his first job or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I forget. But he's a newbie, and he's basically the whole movie is like from his perspective, sort of, where it's like you're seeing all these crazy characters in
You
the
have, like-
restaurant, and he's just like dumbfounded by all the shit that's happening, and everybody keeps interrupting. It's a kind of a gag that keeps happening every time he's about to say something. Everybody interrupts him, but then by the end of the movie, he finally like kind of stands up for himself and like he's invited to this party that they're all having at like a house party, and he just goes off saying how everybody's a piece of shit for this and that reason, like pointing out every specific person's like flaws, and then at the end they just stare at him and then they all like cheer for him.
yeah.
They're like, yeah.
They're just like one of us.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just so funny because it's like that's every experience, like especially if it was like your first job you ever had and like you go work in a restaurant and you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with all these people? I remember like one of my first jobs, I worked at the 99 restaurant, and that's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like an Applebee's type of thing, but it's like a lot nicer. And it's like a New England thing. But I remember,
Nicer than Applebee's? I can't even imagine.
I know,
Oh,
it's a little
need-
bit nicer.
We need to get you out more.
But it went like, I think like my third day at the job, there was this waitress there, or no, she was a bartender, and she was like, I got my pussy pierced. And she was
Wow.
like showing everyone in the restaurant pictures of her pussy piercing.
This reminds me of the scene
Before
from
the-
Waiting. Where
That's what it's like.
He's showing
But
everybody her
that's why I
bush.
was like, this movie is so accurate because like that's literally what
It's
it
so real.
is. Like, and then all the line cooks are like, damn, shawty. Like they're all like, they either rip on you like hardcore and like insult the fuck out of you. Cause like I remember I used to wear like bandanas for work because I didn't want to wear a hat. So I wore bandanas and they'd be like, oh, were you upset? And I was like, what? They're like, were you upset? And I was like, no, why do I look like I'm upset? And they're like, no, like, were you upset when you found out that you had cancer? I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, these people are just rude, or they just like hit on you nonstop. And there's like no in between. Like the line cooks always hit on the waitresses. And like I did expo for a while. So I was like in between. So I got like the
Expo? Is that like
it was like
Expedite
working in
or-
the window.
Oh,
That's like when the food comes out, you organize it, make sure it's cooked right, make sure like it's got the right sides
you were
and
the
everything.
expediter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make
okay.
sure the ticket times are on time. So if like they were going behind, I'd have to like yell at them, which was kind of funny because like I'm a nice person. Like I'm not the type of person to yell at somebody, but I also like shit to be perfect. Like I'm very much a perfectionist. So I had this like funny way of telling them like they were fucking up, and they like respected me really well because I was like funny about it. I don't know.
I remember this one time I was teaching this like
was good. That's good
18-year-old
management
kid.
skill.
I was teaching this 18-year-old kid how to sweep the floor because he had never done it in his life.
Never
And
swept
he
the
asked
floor.
us,
18.
dead ass, he asked us, don't you have a vacuum? We're like, no.
You're probably better.
And I
You
watched
were
him.
like, hold still while I hit you with this
No.
stick.
I watched him sweep like nothing basically because he missed everything, and I just took it from him like this. We're gonna work on this.
You should have been. You would have been better off teaching
Why?
him how to sweep the leg.
I hear the younger generation is just like really bad with jobs because they like aren't used to hearing people tell them what to do.
Well,
you know,
I think
they're like, I'm not gonna do that. What the fuck?
depending on where you are in right the younger generation, right? We've already talked. Started the show was Devin. Right? You're an older Z, but a lot of kids that kind of
With
went
the
through,
upbringing of like a millennial.
right. So there's a lot of those kids that had come up through and are Z's who went through all the whole pandemic stuff. And and there's a lot of people talk about that. But some of the, right, and you correct me if I'm wrong though, but a lot of them are, your generation is starting to abandon some of these things because they know it's worth. And and Apostoli talked about this a couple of episodes ago. Was he's in that same grouping, right, with the generation of Y or Z or whatever. He knows it. He wrote a song about is that these are the devices that kind of
they're terrible, man. Like nobody knows how to talk to people. That's why I think there's such like bad like relationship trouble right now. Like why millennials and stuff aren't like getting married and having kids because like they don't know how to deal with people that like don't get along with them or like or they don't really even understand how to like just deal with people who have different opinions than them. Like they think that like, oh, you have a different opinion than me. Like we can no longer be friends. And that's such a crazy mindset because like no one is going to be the same person as you. Like everyone is so different.
Yeah. So I told some,
there's just so many great people out there. Like the fuck.
I told some of this the other day. I said, you know what the problem is millennial women are looking for Gen X guys.
That's not true.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Denied.
Older guys who have their shit together?
Actually, the funny thing is it's the younger guys that are really into me, usually.
Cougaring it, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah.
At
Official
28,
cougar.
she's a cougar? What?
No, I'm 30.
You're
but
30?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what's the age group that like works
That
with
hits
you?
on me? It's either like
Middle
people
school.
who are like way too young for me, like way too young for me, like they're just getting out of college or they're still in college, or it's like really old men that are like my dad's age. There's no in between.
Wow. That's awkward.
Except my boyfriend. He's the only in between. Because he's 29.
He's 29.
Same age, right? Okay.
Good age. I finally found one that's like close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Bethany Lynn's only criteria for being a good boyfriend is being close enough.
Honestly,
And know your Star Wars
You heard
shit.
it
And
right
know
here.
your Star Wars
You're
shit.
not even wrong.
You're right here. You heard it right here.
You're not even wrong.
She would even be willing to watch sci-fi movies with you if you're not horrifyingly bad.
Well, all right. When I
The
feel
bar is so
when I
low for
want
men
things.
these days, and they still can't reach it.
I know.
You just have to be good enough.
Looking
Just
for a
little-
tall man with no shortcomings.
Only long coming.
Devin, you missed your drop, bro.
I already said it earlier. I don't got to repeat it.
Well, once you get a little bit older, it's easier to look good because you're being introduced to women who've been divorced, and all you have to do is not be a raging asshole, and you're in, and you get a whole garage full of some other guy's stuff.
That's right, man. Yeah, that's where you got to go pick up at Facebook Marketplace.
That's
You know,
like-
who's
my
selling?
mom,
That's the adult
when I was
version
single,
of-
she's like, just wait like 3 more years. She's like, everyone will be getting divorced soon. She's like, you'll be good. You'll meet a good guy. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Like, can't wait.
Oh yeah. Once you meet a guy that has been divorced, all you got to do is not like incessantly talk, and you're in.
Well,
That's
maybe that's why all men hate me.
Yeah, scratch that off the list. I'm so sorry.
I talk too much.
No, but what you have
Every
to say
guy
is
I've ever been
awesome.
with is like, you talk a lot. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm also like, I feel like I'm not stupid. Like I'm at least intelligent, I think. I wouldn't call myself like an educated person because I'm not educated. I've never been to college, but I think I'm somewhat intelligent.
So let me ask you this:
Okay.
are you afraid of silence?
Am I afraid of silence?
Yes.
No.
No.
No. Actually, a lot of times.
Correct answer should have been.
You know what? I'm not going to speak for the rest of this podcast. Fuck you guys. You're on your own.
No. So the reason why I ask is that there's a that those who. I think it's. I'm not picking on you, but we're just talking about because there's a lot of people that do talk, to want to keep
Fill the void.
Fill the void. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
good. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
I think sometimes I can be like that, especially like if it's a scenario where I think someone's like mad at me or like I think they're annoyed by me and I'm like trying to see like test the waters and see like if they're
Right.
Yeah, because you know
annoyed
what
or not,
you know what guys
but-
like the most is when they're really pissed off at a girl is for them to like constantly talk to
I don't
them
give
and
a
find out
fuck
why.
what guys like. Sometimes they need to just hear it. I don't give a shit if they like it or not.
Another high five.
Sometimes they need to sit down and fucking hear it.
Ooh. Yeah.
Anyways, but
tell them how it goes.
But like
Tell 'em how it
I'm
goes.
no, I'm the type
I like
of person that like, you know, when I'm not doing music and stuff, like when I drive home from gigs, I sit there and I don't like I actually had this whole idea for a country song that was called like well, I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but I'm like, you make me want to roll my windows up and turn the music off and like drive home the speed limit. Because
Yeah.
like sometimes I just feel like that. Like I don't
Silence.
want to
Yeah.
What does that
listen
mean?
to
Yeah,
anything.
I
Like
don't
I
get
just
it.
want
I
to.
get it. It's a
Yeah.
vibe. I get it.
No, like you know, every country song is like, I want to roll my windows down and turn the radio up and drink a beer and you know, let the wind blow through my hair and you know, feel great. And I'm like, I'm quite the opposite sometimes. Sometimes I have days where I'm just like, I'm turning the music off. The windows are going up because it's pissing me off. And then I'm like, I'm not even going to speed home. I'm just going to fucking drive the speed limit. Like, fuck this shit. And I just sit there and I think,
Yeah, right. That's what it is. There's that silence or quietness, and there's right. The road noise is just enough to be.
that's when I do all my best songwriting. Honestly, like most of my best songwriting has been like in my car with just my thoughts.
Yeah.
Can we title this episode "A Woman Is Talking"? Be quiet and listen.
Yes, hell yeah.
That'd be great. A great.
The women are talking.
a great sub segment here is
Did you just say sub segment?
schmegment
That was your
Smegman.
sub segment.
is just
Subscribe for Smegma.
I'm just trying to find
my
out what
God.
I heard you say.
So what's the guy Corbin from the Late Show?
Pardon me.
Chicken cordon bleu.
No,
Yes. The Late Show by
It's like one of my
Chicken
favorite
Cordon
foods.
Bleu.
no. Who's the guy who was after?
The
Anyway,
English guy.
anyway,
It's
it's-
the English guy.
Yeah, English guy. Yeah, James Corden. I think that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about him.
Yeah. So my point is like what you're saying is like just like doing a whole show, driving around in the backseat, playing and writing a song in a point from A to Z.
I thought you were gonna say a show where you're just in the car and it's just quiet the whole time.
Oh, so
No,
all right. Here's
yeah,
my little
yeah.
road story.
Yeah.
Remember how you were asking me about
Yeah, yeah.
my road story?
Yeah.
Okay, so, excuse me. I think like last year or something, like around this time, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Nashville because I like really, really wanted to go up and see everyone and see all my friends and everything. But you know, I got there and I was like, holy shit, everything's changed. So I went to Honky Tonk Tuesday, which was like my thing. Like the American Legion, Honky Tonk Tuesday on Tuesdays, you go and see the Cowpokes. And then there'd be like two
Wait,
other
the
opener bands.
cowpokes? Mm-hmm. Like the people who were like herding cows.
No,
during the day?
no. So they're like,
Oh, the cowpokes.
you know,
Is this a kinky
you
thing?
know the phrase like cowpokes, like they're cowboys. They
Yeah.
like, anyways, they're just a country band, like a classic country band.
Is
They
that the
wear
name
all
of a
like
band?
matching
The
suits
name
and
of the band is
everything.
the
It's like
Cowpokes?
very
Old school
The name of
kinda
the band
stuff,
is
yeah.
Cowpokes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do like you'd go in for free. They do like 2-stepping lessons, and then they had this big dance floor. So like a ton of people came in, and you just 2-step all night, right? And like it was all younger people, so it was all people like my age that would all go there and listen to classic country music, and like everything in between and around it. And we go and just dance all night. You just dance with everyone, dance with strangers, you dance with whatever. And it was just such a great way of like meeting people and networking. And because all these musicians would all be in one spot and you just get to meet them. And then after, they'd have like an after party at Underdog. So you just like walk right up to the next bar. And then there'd be like a little after party with more two-stepping and more country music, like Western swing, that type of stuff. I forgot. Oh, anyway, so I get there and I'm like, this is totally different, because it used to be everyone would go in their best, like, vintage Western wear. You know, they'd have all these crazy hats and
Porter
crazy
Wagner
jackets.
stuff.
And yeah, you'd find like just
Sequin
crazy,
jackets.
crazy cool stuff. Yeah.
Nudies and all that, right?
Like people
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be dressed like it was like the
a thing.
60s or the 70s, and it was just a thing. Yeah, like, and it was so much fun.
Old-fashioned Grand Ole Opry
They'd bring their
outfits.
old vintage cars too. It was
That's amazing.
it was just a blast. And they'd have like a thrift shop that would come in and like set up and do like a little pop-up thrift shopping thing. It was really, really cool. But when I got back to Nashville, they were like taking IDs at the door. They were doing like a mandatory $10 cover charge when they used to just do like a donation. And like, so if you didn't have money, like it'd be like, all right, whatever. But it's like, I come here every week. Like I'm out here supporting. Right. It's like one week I'll put $20 in, and then like the next couple weeks I won't pay. And it wasn't a big deal because like so many people came in. But I was like, this is so different. Like I got in there, everyone was in like these skinny jeans with their little fucking white tees and their Bass Pro Shop hats. And I was like, I'm like, what? And all the girls had on their white cowboy boots. And I was like, ooh, this is like Broadway. Like,
Don't call Luke Bryan out.
Like, what happened here? And it was just crazy. So I spent some time in Nashville, but I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, I'm going... I don't know where I'm going, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. So I was like, I'm going to go to Gatlinburg. And then I didn't end up going to Gatlinburg because it was supposed to be like rainy. So I was like, I'm not going to go there. So I was like, you know what? I've never been to the Panhandle. Let me go to the Panhandle. And I had a friend actually from Tennessee who I met there who like recently moved down to the Panhandle. So I just like hit him up and I was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, remember how you said like you're down in the Panhandle and anytime I wanted to visit? Like, and I was like, how about tomorrow? Like, and he was like, yeah, sure.
Rock on.
Which worked out. And like I drove all the way through Alabama and I did like the Lost Highway tour, but I like didn't really stop anywhere. I just did the tour. But yeah, it was cool. And then I did like all this songwriting and I got to see the Panhandle and I just drove down there by myself with like no fucking gas and no money and like freaking the fuck out and wrote all these songs.
Very cool.
So how can we hear these songs?
Hopefully someday I'll be able to record them when I get money.
Well, but there's songs you have out now though. So yeah, those songs.
There's songs I have out now, but they're not the ones I wrote like last year. No.
Okay.
I have so many songs.
You have a song about being knocked up.
I do, yeah. It's not me.
Okay,
Not me,
okay.
But yeah, it's a good song. I guess
It is.
people
a
like
good
it.
song.
People,
I actually really like that song.
Yeah.
And I requested it the other day. And you did a good job. I was glad to be able to play that with you.
it was fun. It was cool.
Very cool.
Doing it with a whole band and everything live.
Well, we didn't quite do it perfectly, but it was
It's all
fun.
right. It's okay. It don't have to be perfect.
No, we don't have to be perfect. So there's a lot of Bethany Lynn music that is yet to be released.
I know. I just don't have the money. It's
I
just
have it. I
expensive.
have a secret. I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, I know. I know you
I'm
did
going to
say
fill
that.
you in.
Yeah.
I've got a secret about getting free recording.
You did say that, yeah.
I'll give you all the information you need.
I think I might know. But go ahead.
Hide drugs in their couch.
Yes. What you need to do is
Yeah.
you need to play at some
Have
place.
you
in
checked this
Eastern
couch
Tennessee.
yet for drugs? It's like Easter eggs. You know, like you never know what you're gonna find in that couch. Be careful. Be careful. Really careful though.
Yeah, we got that
Needles.
couch in a sale from, it was the casting couch. And
Oh, God.
Apparently it was brown when it was made.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. Don't you like the two-way mirror?
Yeah, that couch was brown when it was made, but now it's white.
Weird.
Oh, wait till the whole end of the show to kind of get all creeped out. So, all right, yeah, no, this is this episode is exactly what we strive to do. Is again, it's a band hangout, musician hangout. We talked a little bit of music, talked about some crazy stuff, and that's just it, right?
Yeah, we have a good time.
Yeah, we have a good time. We have a little drink. We talk.
We
some
make fun of
shit.
Paul.
Yeah, we talk a little shit.
I drank too much and now I got a pee so bad.
Oh, so I guess we got to end
can
this
do that. We
podcast.
can-
No.
We
No,
have
I'll
it-
hold it. I used to lifeguard, so I'm used to like sitting on the
We
chair
have a
for a
new
long
segment.
time.
We have a new segment. It's called While the Guest Pees.
Oh, are we doing that right now?
Absolutely.
All right, let's
this
go.
This is the first, the first installment of While the Guest Pees. And what we're going to talk about is While the Guest Pees is
All our stuff. All right,
how much you look like Princess Leia with your headphones on. That's what we're going to talk about. Or perhaps maybe not. Perhaps maybe we could talk about the fact
that's
Maybe episode 8, Carrie Fisher.
yeah, that's
no episode AI Carrie Fisher in old age.
Now, this is awkward that you're comparing me to somebody who probably, as a child in the 70s, looked at me as Prince. I'm your Princess Leia. What the fuck is wrong with you?
By the time that Princess Leia came out, I was able to get connected with actual women, so it wasn't a thing. For me.
Yeah,
Are you sure about that?
yeah, exactly.
actually-
You sure about that?
Yeah, pretty sure.
So, but yeah. So while our guest pees, yeah. So what do you got coming up here? Again, you're out in.
I'm in
Yeah,
Europe.
you're.
What we're doing is let me go ahead
Yes.
and take a look at my
There's a
UK
joke to be made there somewhere.
tour poster.
Sure, of course.
European.
Yeah,
European.
No.
Oh my goodness.
She's a peeing.
Yeah, there's a joke about that. And I don't know what it is.
I don't know either. We'll
It's
find it
Liam's
eventually.
joke.
I done peed.
What do you call you?
deed is
What
done.
are you when you're going to the bathroom? You're a peeing. And what are you when you're leaving the bathroom? You're
Leaving peeing.
that's the aspect of the joke that I
What
don't
are
know.
you when you're sitting on the toilet
Good
and
joke.
you can't get anything to come out?
Grunting. You're grunting.
You're stalling.
You're stalling.
She's got the dad jokes.
Isn't he like
got a
an
great
Italian
dad.
dictator from the 40s?
I tell people that, like, my mom is always like, you can't expect every person to be perfect. And I'm like, I got a great dad. Like, that's my issue. Like, I got a dad that can do, like, anything. So I'm like, every other person in my life, I'm just like, can you do this?
Nah.
Like,
See, that's-
Nah.
Oh my God.
You're pretty screwed.
I know, it
You need someone who
sucks.
can do everything your dad can
Well,
do.
that goes
No,
back.
I don't expect
that
them
goes back
to,
to the-
but like I want them to try and learn how to do that stuff, like be interested.
You're
You know what I
describing
mean?
what having a good father in your life does to a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got all
Puts
these
your
fatherless
expectations
girls
really
out
high.
there.
So you're. So
it makes you
you're-
intolerant of dumbassery, and that's
Yes,
a good thing.
it
Have
is.
you guys ever heard the term fatherless activity?
I definitely heard it.
Fatherless activity.
Yeah.
Tell us. Yes.
Hose.
You know, the women at your shows. Fatherless activity.
Still not seeing it.
Girls with daddy issues.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
You talking
like
about
the way they
strippers?
behave.
Sure.
Yeah,
It could be.
a lot of them, don't have good
Fatherless
fathers.
activity. Are you're
okay.
talking about the
I mean,
mindset.
I think all of them do.
You're
like,
talking about the mindset that women get when they have daddy issues.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays they call that fatherless activity.
Or like the expectations that they have for men in their lives.
Who's your daddy?
They didn't have
Like
a dad.
when
They
they
didn't
didn't
have a
have a
good-
good dad in
Yeah,
their
they
life
needed-
who like taught them things and like
Like self-value.
showed them how like men are and like
So they
you
want
know.
you to be the dad in their life, but then for every single day that you are with them, they hold their father's mistakes against you, and there's no winning.
yes.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My kind of gal.
Yeah, I've been there. No, thank you.
I mean, yeah.
That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
So do you want your guys to be able to change their own tire?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
good
I can
Lord.
change my own tire. Like the fuck?
No. I'm not saying taking anything away
No,
from it.
but I'm just saying like I want a guy to be able to do a little bit more than I can.
So exactly. So that is the definition of female cool. Like, I can do it, but you're the man, so buck up, kid.
Yeah, like I expect you to like be
And
chivalrous.
that's the
and do it.
position
Like,
you need to be in
I
because
could
you don't-
totally do it. Like,
Yeah, you don't want to be some sort of useless, helpless female.
yeah. I also I highly encourage women to do like some sort of like martial art or like self-defense course, because it's like you don't want to have to always rely on somebody to be there to rescue you. But that doesn't mean that men shouldn't be like around and helping
Still a
women if
protector.
they see them
Right, yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
I'm a feminist, but I'm also like the type of feminist where I'm like, yeah, a lot of women are a lot happier like at home when they don't have to work and like with their children, I think.
Yeah, but you know what? As someone who has spent his entire life misunderstanding the relationships between men and women, what I have come to learn is that
Nothing. I'm just
no,
kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you.
and you should, because I deserve it. But and I think I might have lost my point.
Sorry.
But I think what I'm trying to say is that it is important that a woman should not need a man,
Yeah.
because if someone is attracted to me because they can't survive without me, that is unattractive. If someone is attracted to me and they don't need me, if there's a girl that does not need me, but yet she's attracted to me,
Wants you.
then
This
that
is-
is
oh my
actually
God.
attractive.
I said this exact thing one time in a conversation with Almond over here about what I like in women, which is I want a girl who wants me but doesn't need me.
Right.
That is important. But you want them
But
to
I also-
need you, but you don't want someone who can't function without you.
But I also love your
But you do.
angle that you're talking about, because men also need to be held to a certain standard. Like they need to be
Because if
they
they're
need
not, then they're not
expectations.
going to exceed
Progress.
that. Like they need that because
Yeah.
like they don't. Men are the type of like they're different than women, where women are just like focused on things and they work towards it. Like men need a reason to work towards something. I feel like, you know, like because if they're just there, they're kind of like, oh, but once they get a girlfriend, they're like, oh, I'm gonna start like picking up my room a little bit more. Like I'm gonna start like.
The question is how the hell they
makes
end up
sense.
with the
And then when
girlfriend.
they
How
have
they end up with
kids,
the girlfriend
it's even
first.
more.
How they end up with a girlfriend first, right? If
Well-
if I like,
they're
oh, I
hot.
need
Because
right.
they're making
Well-
improvements on their life and they're trying to impress. Like when you first start dating somebody, you're trying to impress them. So you're making
Yeah, but
a
you
lot
don't
of
want
moves.
that
You're
to-
opening the door for them. You're
Yeah, but
picking them
yeah.
up. You're paying for dinner. But like when a guy gets comfortable with a girl and he's like, oh, you know, like she can do all this stuff herself. Like I don't, you know, and you know. It's okay for you to, as a woman, to do that once in a while, but if you do it too much,
Yeah.
it starts making him feel like he's the macho man. Like he's like, oh, I'm a provider.
Look,
Like, and
the-
you need to like make them feel like they can provide, because like that's something that keeps men going, is that like
Well, that's
need
how-
to provide.
right. Men are wired a certain way, right? And there's plenty enough of give and take, right? There's very strong women, and there's some aspects that
A lot of people
that-
consider me a strong woman. I have
Yeah.
to highly disagree.
Well, no, I mean,
women.
yeah.
Let me tell you this: women are stronger than men. Let's just be clear.
yeah, because you squeezing what out of your body to a baby, right?
Okay, Disney. No, I'm just kidding.
No, no. Listen, y'all can do shit that I'm not gonna ever.
Physically, men are stronger than women.
Well,
Yeah,
men and women,
different
let's,
ways.
Let's
different
do
ways.
this. Men and women are strong in opposite directions.
Women make great detectives. We're very detail oriented. There's a lot of things that like women are great at that
Yeah.
men aren't necessarily as good at.
And there are a lot of, that's why we are paired to be together, because men excel in things that women don't understand, and women excel in things that men don't understand. We are a team. We're designed to be together. It's nature's way.
It is.
It's God's way of making a good plan.
Men can't see the ketchup
We
bottle
turned
6 feet in
Satan's
front of them in the
taint
fridge.
into like talking about
But-
God. It's great.
Exactly.
I love it.
Men can't see the ketchup bottle 6 feet in front of them in the fridge, but women can tell that you sneezed 36 times yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
So you have a woman who counts your sneezes?
we're good at multitasking too.
I need to know about this.
Wait.
woman who
Did we
counts
just find out
sneezes.
that Devin has a woman?
Devin has a woman.
What?
and
Wait,
she counts
whoa.
his sneezes.
Yeah. Almond, so tell
Need
us.
me to
Does he
grow
have,
a
what's
I
what's
guess you
his,
could say
what's
it's
his woman
pretty
like?
serious.
Well,
Oh, he needs a mic
man
if he's
of
going to
many
talk about me.
women. I've seen plenty of women come out of his life,
Mm.
and they are different. The one was a clown.
We are hearing the fact that Devin has been with a clown.
Yeah, he had a clown girlfriend.
Okay. Something y'all need to know about Armand here is that he
I dressed
lies.
up as a clown this Halloween.
There's a mic right there. Grab that
Oh,
mic. We want to
I
hear
did.
this.
Is that an
That's not
offer?
plugged. That's cool.
Is that an extension of potential compatibility?
No, I'm taken
Oh, that's true. You have a Star Wars fan.
happily.
We forgot about that. Sorry about that. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
Oh boy! So we are blowing way past our normal bedtime here. So
What? Bedtime?
Yeah. So then we could chat. We could chat more though. So
Who
Yeah.
is there anyone here who wants to cut this off? No one.
we can. Well, no, we can.
Stop
Hey, look,
it.
we can land the plane and take back off for our Patreon viewers, right? And then
We could do that.
Are we supposed to cut this short
Yeah. Well, yeah.
because you're too cheap to pay to see us? Is
No,
that
no,
what
no.
we're doing?
Yes. Well, again, we
That's
don't
not
want
okay.
we don't
No.
bore anybody in a
We don't
3
wanna
hour.
discriminate against
we
people
don't
who
want,
can't afford us.
We already started off this podcast as a Ghost in the Ox podcast. And those Devin's podcasts are usually like 4 hours long. So
Yeah,
Right.
Paul
So-
has no concept
With
about
plenty
lasting
of
for
silent
4
breaks
hours.
in it too.
yeah, we don't do
Silent
breaks. We don't
breaks.
do breaks in this, right?
So
we,
what I
we are
would-
one take.
Here's
done.
what I would like to do. I would like to personally take responsibility for creating a thing that is the backup band for Bethany Lynn.
Oh,
I believe I could do that.
if we can get one, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, at some point.
I feel as though I feel very strongly about the fact
Smash a like, send a galaxy.
that you truly are a great artist. You're an excellent singer. You're a great
ice cream cone.
acoustic guitar player. you write great songs, and I would love to be able to make sure that you don't get tired of doing it
I know.
without a band.
I don't want to.
You do.
But I will. Well, yeah.
No, you do. You do.
The older I
Yeah.
get, though, like the more I'm just like, I just don't want to be. I just don't want to be involved with it all. Like, there's just, I don't know. Like, I love music, and I'm always gonna do music, but I don't really know if I want to be on like a national level, because like sometimes I just kind of want to fuck off in the woods
That's fine.
and like just
Yeah.
have a garden.
Yeah.
As you should.
Look, that's-
As you should.
I don't know.
Well,
like-
you know what it could be though, Kevin, is it's one of those maybe there's a rotating cast of certain folks that step in. Because again, I think maybe a Mikey might be not a bad person to kind
No,
of
but
come in.
if
I mean, if it happened for
Yeah.
me, like
Right.
I would totally just take off running and like, see where it goes. But, I want to book as many shows as I can still
Yeah,
and like
right.
do everything I can, like book big events. But I also just want to do that just so I can have a fucking house in the woods and
Yeah.
some chickens
all right,
and
so
some
like
tomatoes.
I have tons of spare time, and I sit around wondering what I'm going to do all day.
While he's on the plane to on the way back.
But if I had a lot of time on my hands, what I would do, and I am capable of doing it, is I would put together a group of backing musicians who could play what you do. And I would book the Bethany Lynn band, and I would pay you large amounts of money.
Heck fucking yeah. That's what I'm trying
And
to make
that's what
happen.
you deserve to have.
I might just roll with the Hot Toddy name for now because I like Hot Toddy. I like that name.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah, hot toddy, and you could build
toddy.
that. And if you did it without me, which you are certainly capable of doing, all you gotta do is find a drummer and another
Honestly,
like a
I'm not
steel
even
guitar
like
is,
that.
or-
I'm not even that concerned about a drummer right now. Like even if I could just find somebody to play, like if they wanted to solo and play acoustic guitar, that'd be great. Like,
You know who's great is
because
Kevin
we could
Mall.
do a bluegrass thing.
Kevin Mall. Do you know Kevin Mall?
I don't know. The name sounds very
He
familiar.
plays with the Nouveau Honkies when he's down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so even Fox Maple, is she a very
Fox-
similar style of maybe?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right.
Totally different.
Yeah.
No, Bethany and Fox are separate personalities, and they've got great vibes going on.
What does the fox say?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Paul cheated on me, and he did an episode with Maple Fox, and I wasn't there.
Missed out.
Shame.
It's not okay.
Sorry. I cheat all over the place.
Shame.
Fox Maple.
I'll podcast whoever I want to fucking podcast with.
But what about my feelings?
I already said it once today. I'll say it again. You know what's my favorite meme right now? Well, it's not even popular right now.
The nanosecond that it takes to
But
care
the
about
little
Kevin's
the
feelings.
little fucking sad hamster, man.
The sad
The sad hamster is like my favorite thing ever.
Hamster.
Or it's just like, or it's like, like when my boyfriend spends all day like at work at his blue collar job, and I come home and he doesn't want to hear me talk about like, it's just like something stupid like hair colors or something like.
I just like the video
And
of the
it's
girl
like,
wiping her tears with a hamster, literally.
Really?
I just think that's just so funny. The sad hamster.
Oh boy. All right, so
Pop that meme up on screen right now.
yeah, make note of that, please. Yeah, you mind jotting this down? What time to pop it up?
Well, the fact that that's a thing is insanely unrealistic to me.
I'm 47.
Like, really? If I was working all day, I want to
hour
hear
47.
about your hamster? Seriously? No,
You know what?
I don't.
I don't give a shit whether you want to hear it or not. Just pretend like you do. Just pretend like you don't fucking hate me. For the love of God, that's all I ask.
Well, don't. Hey,
Like,
listen.
I don't even care if you're listening to me. Just
I
don't
would-
get
Beth-
annoyed.
I would
Don't-
certainly pretend that I didn't hate you, but I could not pretend that I didn't hate your hamster.
No.
Remember, she
Hey,
likes
I
her
don't even
men
care
good
if you're not
enough.
listening.
Look, Bethany,
They just have to
don't
tolerate
ask.
Look, men are men. At the end of the day, they're fucking men. Like,
True.
Like, you're never gonna find a man that's clean. If you find a man that's clean, he's fucking crazy. Like, he's insane. So it's like, you gotta like settle for things because men are men. Like, it's just the way that, like, there's certain things. Like, it's like,
considered clean.
no, I'm not saying like, okay, so I'm talking like women clean versus men clean is a totally different thing. Women, well, men, when they clean everything they see. When women clean, they clean everything. They like lift things up and clean under them. Like men, they just like, oh, it looks dirty, I clean. It look not dirty, good. Like women move shit around and like clean
booga.
underneath and like they get all the details. So we're more detail oriented.
That
That's
is
just
accurate.
how we are.
That is accurate.
So if you meet a guy who's very clean and detail oriented,
He might be
Probably
Hitler.
gay.
it's kind of a little bit of a red flag because you're like,
Yeah.
men aren't normally like that.
Yeah.
At least the ones I know. Like,
I think this goes back to a generational thing in some of this conversations.
well, my dad is like, there's something wrong with my dad because he's a really good cleaner.
Well,
Like, he's not right. But I
got
also will
attention
tell
to
you,
detail.
like,
Not right.
my dad is a great guy, but like, he is a little scary. And I don't fuck with that dude because he could snap any minute. Like, I'm not joking.
If he's
Isn't that
really
what women love in men, though?
no, if he's
wanna
really,
We kind of do.
Want to
Like,
respect
that's
him,
kind
but
of
be
the
a
one-
little bit scared of him?
Like, yeah, exactly.
Devin, hold on. You've seen John Wick.
Yeah.
When those guys show up to his house to
Baba Yaga.
Right. So if your dad is your dad is very good at cleaning and getting rid of bodies and blood and all that stuff.
Maybe actually.
Yeah, when someone
maybe
takes
my
out your
dad's
mom,
a serial
he's going
killer.
to smash. He's going to.
Now that I think about it,
If
no.
someone were to ever take out your mom, he would.
Yeah,
smash
let's
the
hope- make sure he
foundation
doesn't
and
watch
keep
this episode.
pointing his
Dots.
guns back,
I know.
and he would go back to the casino. And,
I hope they don't, but they probably will at
No,
some
they
point.
won't.
They'll be
No,
like,
they won't. He's the
let's watch the
Bobiega.
podcast. We're bored.
He's the
Yeah, it's a
guitar
2-hour
Bobiega.
episode.
You know, I will say one thing about my dad. My dad's a badass motherfucker. One time somebody robbed our house. This was like before I was even born. My dad like chased the guy down the road, like fucking miles down the road, caught up to the dude, beat the fucking living shit out of him. The cops had to pull him off. He almost killed the guy.
Whoa.
And they were gonna press charges, but they were just like, honestly, he like robbed you. Like,
So
we're
that's
not gonna say anything.
that is a different MVP of the week that we haven't had before.
Yeah,
Yes.
my dad's a
MVP of the week.
badass.
Yes.
Yeah, this week, my dad.
Shout out, Dad.
Shout out, Dad.
Rock on.
This episode's all about having a good father.
This would have been great if it was on Father's Day, right?
Yeah, this would be a
Right?
Father's
The
Day
not
episode.
Father's Day
It's
episode.
not a. All right, so let's land this plane here, and we can continue the fun afterwards. I don't know. I'm hungry. We gonna do Ale House like we normally do.
Heck yeah.
we could
Yes, so-
we could do that,
Some
but
Millers.
we wouldn't.
Get
We
a
wouldn't.
Zide Zinger salad.
Oh yeah,
We
it's on-
wouldn't advertise a specific rrestaurant unless they paid us. So what we're doing is
You
we're
have to
going to
bleep,
the
bleep out. You have to bleep out the name now.
Yeah.
the house.
We're gonna
No.
go eat at.
There you go. There you go. There you
Oh,
go.
the
Thank you.
Beep
I like
House.
that.
The Beep House.
We're gonna
Yeah.
go-
That's a
The
Beep
Beep
House.
House is the best.
We're gonna go to
The
Mianus.
Beep House has Indian food.
Bethany, I now remember I do all the editing for the show, so we're gonna may have to talk a little
he's
bit
not
about
editing
yeah.
that out. I
Oh yeah,
promise you
this is
that.
all great.
Oh,
This is
come
content
on.
worthy. Well, hey,
It was all so clean. You could put it on a comedy show. It's that clean. Like
your anus.
Okay, I swore a couple times, but like
It wasn't as clean as
it's
you, as
not
my
like
anus.
I'm freaking. I'm
was
not
it
being
s-
Bob Saget or Eddie Murphy over here.
But was
making
it surface
seem
clean
like
or
I'm
detail
so-
clean?
Yeah, man
It was
clean or
serial
woman
killer
clean.
clean. No.
Serial killer clean is beyond woman clean. I can tell you
It
that.
was my father clean.
Oh my.
Well, I just want to thank you for giving my
Mr.
anus.
Clean?
I would like to thank you for giving my anus restaurant a 5-star.
Yeah.
Is that-
Everyone loves to eat in my anus.
Is that a pho? Did they sell? Is that a pho place?
Chili dogs.
Wow,
So good.
that sounds like a Hallmark card.
It goes with the hillbillies. It's really good.
There's hillbillies in my
Oh,
anus.
Colonel Angus. Yeah,
Colonel Angus.
Cunnilingus.
Have you ever heard of Cunnilingus?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've heard
okay.
of the Cunnilingus.
Yeah, it's that's
same
actually
thing.
a real person. It's called Billy T and the Back to Business band.
And the Colonel Angus
And
band.
the sweaty balls one
it's
too.
Betty balls. Yes.
So all right,
I love my sweaty balls.
all right. Let's try to.
Land it.
We're gonna
Land.
land this plane.
Crash landing.
We're gonna crash. They're,
Tuck and roll
they're
everyone.
already foaming the runway for this landing. I can promise you that.
The amount of crash landings in this
Put your
country
head
going on.
between your legs.
And kiss your ass
Put
goodbye.
your head between your legs and get inversed from the person next to you.
I like to
Put
see
your head
anybody
between the legs next to.
yeah, next person next to you.
We're trying so hard.
Because
Hey.
we could all die in 7 seconds.
Hey, if you're gonna go down with a smile.
If what?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, hey, this is Kevin McLaughlin. I'm your pilot, and we're going down. And while we're going down, you should go down too.
It's for the Patreon. Under the table one.
Please make sure you pack your baggage in the
Yeah, we got a lot of baggage
in
here.
the backside compartment.
Come and get your shit.
PBI to my anus.
Oh my goodness!
All right, bring us home.
All right, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of the Riffs and.
My anus podcast.
All right, no.
All right, so try it again.
I refuse to participate in your anus podcast.
No, my anus.
No good can come from me explaining my.
You can't just switch it to Uranus. It doesn't make it funny anymore.
Do not come.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try this one more time. Thank you for listening to the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast.
My name is Kevin McLaughlin, and this is
Paul Robertson. Thanks for tuning in to this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed our guest.
Bethany Lynn.
Yes.
Sorry.
She's a
Apologies.
Bundle of joy. Good
job. Yeah, this was awesome.
So don't forget to check out the podcast all on the channels, YouTube, Spotify,
But
Pandora,
Paul,
and all that.
he says this all the time, but what he doesn't realize is they've been watching.
Yeah, but they also listen. We want to make sure if you tuned in, if you've stayed through the podcast,
I've got a great marketing plan. Once you've watched it, we should promote you watching it.
Right. No, if you made it through an entire 2 hours of this episode, we need to give you a shirt or something.
Make a
we need to give you a
reaction
medal.
video.
We need to give you a medal. Right. Yeah, reaction video. Like, what the fuck did I just watch for waste 2 hours of my time?
2 hour
Paul,
reaction.
Paul, you are a marketing genius. And I agree with you. Now that they've watched it, we should promote that they should watch it again.
And again. And again.
Oh, my.
Repeat.
You know the trends of it's like, oh, stream this album or whatever, stream this artist,
Yeah.
you know, stream Riffs Rhythms. Just have it on loop.
Yeah, just
Do a little, autistic little venture where you just watch the same thing over and over again for like 3 weeks. I do it all the time. No hate.
Here's a toast to fuck the spectrum. We're all retarded, but we have fun anyway.
We could officially legally say retarded.
come join us at Mianus and First. Cheers, everybody.
There you go.